Hello and welcome into the Middle Georgia State University YouTube channel. Today, a matchup between the Knights and the visiting Cougars from Columbus State University. A matchup, an in-state rivalry set to kick off at 4:05 as the Knights have taken the field. The home team slots in defensively, of course, to start us off as they look to continue a bit of a hot streak. Swept a top 15 in the NAIA as they're back from their road trip, looking to have some success at home at Stuckey Field. I'm Joe Copshow. Thank you so much for joining us on the Middle Georgia State University YouTube channel, as we're just about 2 or 3 minutes away from first pitch, as the Knights look to continue this hot streak. As mentioned, a big sweep. Now over 500 are the Knights as they look to wrap up their regular season. Of course, this is a non-conference game with the Cougars traveling in just about 2.5 hours away in Columbus, but still a big chance to pick up a big win against what has kind of become a rival, with the Cougars having a lot of success against the Knights earlier this season. They picked up a big win at home. Now the Cougars travel to Cochran, Georgia to try and make it 2-0 on the season. The Knights hoping for a bit of a split in that series, of course, multiple game series. As we're just about ready to get underway. On the mound for the Knights, getting today's start, Tyler Williams, the right-handed pitcher, the freshman out of Ellis, Georgia. Of course, in a midweek matchup, stretching out the arm. Prototypical build for the freshman, over-the-top right-handed pitcher. As the throwdown is done, that means we're just about ready for afternoon baseball. Williams on the season has pitched 9 innings, has not gone longer than 3 innings this season, has allowed 7 earned runs through those 9 innings. So looking for a bit of success today. His last outing was against USC Beaufort, and that win, however, allowed 3 runs in the 1 inning there. The first pitch of today's game, high and tight for ball 1. The interesting thing about Williams perhaps is, although the limited number of appearances, just 6 on the season, did play in the game at Columbus State, as that one misses low and away for ball 2. Just the 6 appearances, didn't appear in a game between March 18th and April 1st, and just that 1 outing in March. The 2-0. Hit back to the netting. And that Columbus State game through 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs, 1 earned. The problem was the free pass, 3 walks in that 2/3 of an inning plus. On the season, it has been all or nothing for Williams. 12 walks to 11 strikeouts, so 2 true outcomes for him. As the 2-1 swung on and missed, and now in an opportunity and a chance to pick up that first strikeout of the evening. As for the batter for Columbus State, as we start to see this powerful lineup, it starts with Luke Miller, the freshman out of Cartersville, takes ball 3, and we'll have our first full count. The lefty hitting outfielder, again, just like his opponent on the other side in Williams, kind of that prototypical role. He takes that leadoff role, has the speed, has a bit of pop, but just likes to get on base, as the count will stay the same with the payoff pitch being fouled back. Miller from Cartersville, Georgia, Cartersville High School. Of course, around Atlanta, these teams know each other well with the Georgia connection. So far, a career 300 batter in his first season. That one just missing the outside corner. And that will be the first base runner of the day for the Cougars, and it comes via the free pass. So just like Miller has done all season, he gets on base. His on-base percentage now well over 400. As the lineup card tips over to King. King's the interesting case where you have a catcher batting second. Don't often see a catcher fill that role. But the 5'10 King, transfer from South Georgia State, has played it well this season, as he'll be down to his last strike. King has really had a good career. Of course, the senior last year, call it a year and a half ago now, in the 2023 season, Peach Belt Conference second team, as he's able to stay alive and poke this one out of play. In his career, batting well over 300, sits at that 336 mark. As this one in on the hands, popped up in the infield. First chance at second, purposefully letting it drop perhaps, or maybe losing it in the light. Ferguson gets the out. It's the force out. He says he lost it in the sun. The umpires will have a discussion. This should not be an infield fly with only one runner on. But now it looks like a substitution. We'll look to see the number at first. But an interesting way to get the first out. Still a runner at first, but now one out. Evans, the new batter, the first baseman. Taking off King. So it is King officially at first. Of course, no infield fly with just one runner on. So the Cougars had sent back their runner that was on first into the dugout and had to, or King had gone back to the dugout and then had to pop back out there, as it was Miller who was forced out. Throw back to first in time with his head first slide is King. Caden Evans, the new batter, the transfer from Coastal Alabama. The big first baseman has a lot of pop in his bat. Trying to keep the runner close on the mound is Williams. Second check over in a row. We will see this 0-1. The runner still going. The throw down looks good, is good. The tag in time. Two batters, two outs, and in unordinary fashion. An infield fly almost called. However, the force out taken. The runner subbed on, tries to steal, and is retired at second on the throwdown. And now, on the mound, Williams has a chance for the most bizarre 1-2-3 inning. This one bounced in there. 2-1 is the count. Don't want to give a hitter's count to Evans as he grounds one through the infield. Playing to pull were the Knights and unable to fill the gap. As that one hit right back where it came from for a single. It's Perez at second. Perez gave it his best but could not backhand it. And there'll be one runner on for Columbus State. Now to the cleanup spot for the Cougars. Ball one. Outside to Cole Eisen. Williams peers over the shoulder. Looking back, Evans comes with the off speed right down the center of the plate for strike one. Knights again shaded to pull just a touch. As it is just another left-handed batter for this Cougars lineup. Don't see that too often. 3 lefties in the top of the lineup. The only righty we've seen so far is Ian King, the catcher. 2-1 is the count. Short lead for Evans. Williams already checked back on him once. He'll come to the plate. Fastball grounded to Perez. He's getting his workout as he'll make the light toss on over to first. Not a 1-2-3 innings for Williams, but he retires 3 of the first 4 batters, and the Cougars are set down quietly in the top of the first. We'll be back in the bottom of the first where we'll see your Middle Georgia State University Knights for the first time on offense. The Cougars on defense for the first time today, as they have the tall righty on the mound for them, Garrett Talaga, the 6'6" junior out of Huntsville, Alabama. Again, another typical right-handed pitcher, but really does have that height that managers and coaches so enjoy from a right-hander, where he can just come over the top and blast you with speed. Has had a bit of trouble this season, but also hasn't had too many outings. 1 in the month of February, 1 in the month of March, 1 in the month of April. So his second appearance here in April. His first 2 innings, no earned runs, 1 strikeout, no hits against. It was by far his best outing of the season. Of course, almost a perfect outing. As his first pitch, the fastball popped up. No man's land in between left and short, but coming on strong and brought in for the first out. Miller retires Vargas. So trying to ambush the midweek starter, who perhaps hasn't gotten as many appearances as he would like, but Vargas retired. In his other 2 outings, Talaga struggled, allowed multiple earned runs in both of those outings. But man, did that changeup look good inside corner for strike 1. Not sure what you would call it. It didn't really have that horizontal dip that a slider does, but it fell off the table quickly. The 0-1. Similar pitch, this time in the dirt for ball 1. As the Knight at the plate, Perez, second baseman, has gotten his workout over there already with 3 balls hit his way. Now a chance on the offensive side. Perez batting .288 this season, as this one in on the hands, popped up to short, and that is the second out here in the bottom of the first. Was not able to muscle it out into left field, just came in on the hands, tried to get barreled a ball, but too far inside to do anything with it. And a quick 2 outs for the Cougars and Talaga on the mound. 4 pitches for 2 outs. As he catches the belt here with that similar off-speed pitch for strike 1. Man at the plate, Chaz Salter has had perhaps the best season of any Knight offensively. 424 batting average. Gets on base more than half the time as this one misses low and inside. Has the unique ability to also hit for power. 5 home runs. Today slots in as the DH in this third spot. The 1-1. Salter gets under it, and that will likely be 3 quick pop-outs. This one on the line. Good job from the second baseman to come over, call everyone off, bring it in over the shoulder, and the Knights go down in order. When we come back, we'll have second inning action here on the Middle Georgia State University YouTube channel. Back here in the top of the second, the sun finally freed up, the clouds passing over. A beautiful day for baseball now, as the Cougars return to the offensive side. Way out in front of this one for strike one on that foul tip. Ferguson's first look in the box. Good first pitch from Williams to get the Cougar way out in front. Puts a little bit of more speed on that one, but misses outside into the left-handed batter's box. This one missing as well. Ferguson, the senior, out of Pelham, Alabama, transferred in from Lawson State Community College. That one just missing for ball 3. Second baseman for the Cougars. Made that good catch to end the bottom of the first. Now draws a free pass as a good strike one after that couple of pitches that weren't too competitive. As Ferguson does have a bit of speed at first, and it's a Cougars team that likes to get a free base or two any way they can. We've seen one stolen base attempt already. However, the Knights were able to get the runner. Another lefty here in Wilmot, the DH today. Ball one missing low. The Knights in an interesting defense, to say the least. You could see third baseman was pretty even with the grass on the first pitch. Now takes a step or two back, maybe no longer thinking bunt. As infield shaded to pull. Knees outside corner for strike one. You can see it short. Vargas playing very close to the second base bag in case he needs to cover. Throw back, not in time. Wilmot, the batter, usually plays that first base role when not DHing. He nubs one to third. The only play will be at first. Good job to charge on and get the out. Flaherty, a good play. However, it does move a runner in a scoring position. The first time we've seen that today, as the Cougars will threaten with just one out. And the one hit against Williams in the first inning was a ground ball through the middle of the infield, but we've seen a good bit of contact, and none of it has been very good. Williams pitching to weak contact. The free pass has been the problem early, 2 walks. But so far pitching well, as now he faces the bottom of the order. Knox, Cruz, and Chiswick before it goes back to the top. Third and first baseman playing close to the line. Don't want any doubles to make their way to the corner. Knox swings at this one. A ground ball to short. Kicks up into the glove. The throw over right above shoulder level and brought in easily at first for the second out of the inning. So the walk and 2 quick ground balls put a runner at third for the Cougars, but now there's 2 outs. So with the last chance potentially here in the top of the second, it'll be Michael Cruz. A Cougar 90 feet away. This one, a high pop-up. Won't really leave the infield as camping under it at short. Vargas brings it in at the shoulder for the third out of the inning. Williams, a good first 2 innings, pitching to contact, but it's all weak. Just the 1 hit, the 1 walk, and the runner stranded at third. The Knights will be back up on offense when we return. Bottom of the second here at Stuckey Field for Knights baseball. Again, a beautiful day for baseball as it's the middle of the order for the Middle Georgia State University Knights. Falk, Flaherty, and Duarte. Falk, a good season, the senior. One of those veteran presences gives this one a ride. A diving play at short, can't get it, and the Knights get their first hit of the game. A sharp piece of hitting from the left fielder. Right back up the middle. This one a bit closer to being flagged down, but no chance on the hot shot from Chiswick as he gave it a good glance and a full dive, but could not knock it down. And as the Knights tend to do, trying to jump on the first 1 or 2 pitches of the at-bat, Falk does so as well, this time for the first real success for the Knights as the lineup card flips over to Flaherty. The 1-0, right at the knees for strike one. Taking a bit of time between pitches, Talaga comes set, kicks and delivers. This one a liner into left field. 2 singles strung together have runners at first and second for the Knights.
Now batting number 3, Jaden Duarte.
So a very good start for the Knights here in the bottom of the second. As now it'll be Duarte who is coming off an excellent week. Conference Player of the Week honors. And a potential chance to give the Knights the first run of the game. Off-speed pitch outside corner for strike one. Duarte has a bit of speed. The right fielder is being played as if he could lay down a bunt. Both corners even with the grass. At second, Falk being held closely. Flaherty at first, a big lead. Swing and a miss. Duarte tried to golf it out. Came up with nothing and is down to his last strike. Third baseman still even with the grass. First base moves back. Of course, not a bunt situation anymore. Talaga working a bit more quickly now. Kicks and delivers. Way high and outside. It pops out of the catcher's glove and a free 90 feet for each Knights base runner. As now there will be 2 runners in scoring position with no outs. That'll go down as a pass ball. Was high and away, but plenty of leather got onto it. Just couldn't squeeze it behind the plate King. And now Duarte with a 2-strike count. All he has to do is put the ball in play. Count evens itself up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Corners come back in. They'll throw it a home if they get anything with a decent bit of speed on it. The 2-2. Duarte back up the middle. That will score 1. Will he be retired? Running down the line. He's safe. An RBI single puts the Knights on the board here in the top of the second. And with no outs, they still have runners at the corners.
Now batting number 11, Pimentel.
And that is why speed will never not be included in a trait that coaches love. Duarte hustles out an infield single, gets the first run of the game on the board. No outs with runners on first and third. Strike one at the knees. So Pimentel. At third is Flaherty. First, Duarte. That's 3 straight singles for the Knights. 2 really good pieces of hitting. Duarte puts it in the right spot. That's where we're at. 0-1. Duarte gets checked on, dancing around at first, but the head first slide gets him in time. Trying to get into Laga's head. And, of course, even if Duarte was picked off, there's a chance at a first and third play. Now a squeeze bunt. The back pick in time. Now in a rundown. Flaherty trying to draw the tag and get the runner over. He does, but The Knights try and play a little bit of small ball, and it doesn't exactly work out as Flaherty at third is retired. He does stall for enough time to allow Duarte to get to second. But what looked like a squeeze bunt doesn't work out as Pimentel couldn't get it down. Flaherty fell down trying to get back to third on the back pick. And what was perhaps a very promising inning for the Knights has been stifled just a bit. Still got the run across and still have a runner in scoring position with one out as the umpires will huddle up here in between the mound and third. I think the discussion might have just been what the call at the plate was in terms of balls and strikes. It is a 1-1 count. Free swinging now will be Pimentel, the center fielder looking to drive in the second run of the game. Again, the ball dipping under the bat. Pimentel swinging off plane, can't get it out of the dirt. One ball, two strikes. Talaga kicks and delivers. Similar pitch. Pimentel able to lay off this time and even the count. Infield again, shaded to pole for the right-handed batter. The 2-2. This either hit the knob of the bat or hit Pimentel. He's not taking a trot down to first, so it'll be a foul ball off the handle of the bat. Talaga takes a couple looks at Duarte. Now comes home. It's bounced in there. Good stop from King behind the plate as a payoff pitch will be incoming. Runner in scoring position is Duarte. Knights have brought one across. Like to get one or two more in a very promising inning. The payoff pitch, swung on, popped up down the right field line. It won't hold the line, and it will get far enough out of play that the right fielder Knox can crash on and bring it in. So we'll have another 3-2. Duarte at second. Talaga, the delivery, the strikeout as it's blown by Pimentel, just dropped under the bat. Mentioned that seemed like his best pitch. He goes to it in an important situation and picks up the strikeout. First strikeout of the day for the man on the mound as the tall right-hander will focus back in on Tate Abbott. This one bounced in there, trying to go power on power with the fastball. Abbott with 5 home runs on the season, a 300 batting average. Has started 24 games this season for the Knights. A good eye so far from Abbott as he gets into a hitter's count. He'll stay that way as he'll likely keep the bat on the shoulder, the count being 3 balls, no strikes. As King takes an extra second behind the plate, he has had a rough second inning. Had the pass ball, but also has had to get down and block quite a couple times. The 3-0. Bat does stay on the shoulder. Strike one comes in right down the middle of the plate. Two outs here in the bottom of the second. The Knights brought across 1 run. Have a runner in scoring position for Abbott. The delivery. Fouled right back into the backstop. And we'll have a full count. Of course, no force here for Duarte, who stands at second, so he can't get an early start. However, he'll likely take off as soon as this pitch is out of the hand. There he goes, and it's inside. So he took a big lead, thought he might keep going, but as Abbott takes ball 4, he stops up, and the Knights will have runners at first and second.
Number 36, Connor Sheely.
Abbott picks up his 9th walk of the season, a good eye on the payoff pitch, as it'll be Connor Sheely, the 9-hole hitter, trying to flip it back to the top of the lineup. A sophomore from South Carolina. First pitch he sees, hits that breaking ball, and it buckled Sheely. Came in inside right at the knees for strike 1. You could see the flinch wanting to pull the trigger, but just couldn't. He's down in the count now. Talaga delivers. This one popped up, no man's land in between right and center. Back a couple steps shy of the warning track, brought in by Knox. That will end the inning. The Knights able to bring 1 across, but a promising inning doesn't bring any more. They lead and have the first lead of today, 1-0 after 2. Playing behind for the first time today, the Cougars offense back to work. 9-hole batter Chiswick takes over, and of course it'll flip back up to the top of the lineup card in Miller and King. Those are the 3 due up. Williams, Pierce gets the signal, comes set, and delivers. First pitch of the 3rd inning, a bunt laid down, but well foul in towards the Knights dugout for strike 1. Chiswick, the junior out of Loganville. Trusted for his defense as the count evens itself up. Slots in as that everyday shortstop. This one popped up high in between left and center, coming on and bringing it in is the center fielder Pimentel. That one a mile high, just a bit too under it was Chizik, and that's the first out. Got it on the right part of the bat, at least in that area where you want to barrel it, but just too far under it, and the launch angle a bit too much. And a simple fly out to center field. That was maybe the best contact that Columbus State has had today. Of course, the single from Evans was a well-hit ball up the middle, but likely would have been a ground out if no shift was on. As the count is 1-1. So the Cougars perhaps trying to ride the success of the loudest out today as Miller digs in. He foul tips this one in the netting for strike 2. Williams looking to pick up a strikeout here, and he does. A ugly swing and miss from the Cougars. That one dipping low and away into the dirt, trying to golf it out but unable to, as that's the second out of the inning. Miller strikes out swinging, as King will step into the opposite side batter's box to replace him. A first strikeout of the day for Williams as he puts a little bit extra heat on that one but misses into the left-handed batter's box. Williams threw about 20 pitches in the first inning as he gets a similar swing and a miss that got Miller out for strike 1 in this at-bat. He's just about to throw his 40th pitch of the evening here, so has been efficient since that first inning. Right at the knees, outside corner for strike 2, and the Cougars down to their last strike here in the top of the third. The 1-2. Chopped to third, brought in at the hip, the throw over just in time, beats him by a step, and the Knights another good inning defensively, 1-2-3 in the top of the third, as they'll bring back their hot offense for a chance to get some insurance runs when we come back. As usual with midweek games, a new pitcher on the mound. Number 21, Nick Davidson, the lefty from Winter Springs, Florida. The junior, a chance to keep things where it's at. The transfer from Santa Fe.
Leading off for the Knights, number 13, Jose Vargas.
Still young into his career. Tossed a 5 ERA at Santa Fe. This season has brought it down just a touch or two. Has allowed 6 earned runs in 11 innings this year, but over his past 5 outings, just the 1 earned run. Just like his counterpart who started the game as a typical outing of 2 innings or less, so likely won't see Davidson for a long time, but we'll get to see him here early today. Delivering quickly. Count evens itself up. 1 ball, 1 strike. As for the Knights, back to the top of the order with Vargas. Really working quickly now, as the count's all the way to 3-1. Give you the final line on the Cougars starting pitcher's day after this. As this is fisted into left field, it will drop in between short and left. Vargas able to muscle it out there for another single. The first of his day. He's now 1 for 2. Good piece of hitting there. 3-1 count. Didn't exactly get the pitch he wanted, but able to do enough with it to put him on first. Talaga faced 9 batters throughout his 2 innings of work. As this bunt laid down, it's a beauty. The only play at first. A good sacrifice there. As the Knights will have a runner in scoring position with just 1 out. As it'll be Chalice Salter up to bat. And maybe that factors into the decision. Of course, batting well over 400. A single could drive in the second run of the game. Back to Talaga. 2 innings, 3 hit ball, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and of course the 1 run being earned. As that stays high for ball 1. We'll see how it officially goes down on Talaga's day, as the run was helped around by the pass ball, so could officially go down as an unearned run. We'll check stat sheet after the game. But that would improve the look of his day, and really does have some special stuff, especially on that off speed that we saw, as this one's poked out of play. As for the Knights here on offense, good work from Vargas to get himself on. Perez, a perfect sacrifice bunt. Has Vargas at second, and Salter in the box with a hitter's count. That stays true as the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. 4 hits for the Knights, all singles. 3 of them came in a row. That's how they drove in the run in the bottom of the second. Looking to pick up another one here in the bottom of the third. Salter, a big swing. However, comes up with nothing, and now a payoff pitch. Set at the belt. The 3-2. Popped up. This one will likely get out of play, and it does. And we'll do it all again. In the on-deck circle, Zane Falk hoping for a chance with runners on. Already 1 for 1 today, as are the 2 Knights below him in Flaherty and Duarte. The 3-2. This one right back at short, trying to avoid the double play. Vargas, a head first slide, does break it up. A hard line out right to the shortstop, brought in on the line by Chizik, and that is the second out of the inning. Zane Falk with perhaps the last chance of the inning for the Knights. Low and away for ball one. Falk had the single, one of three in the bottom of the second. Now in the bottom of the third, gives this one a ride. That one will slow roll to the wall. A chance at a double. He'll take it standing up as that drives in the second run of the game. Coming around to score with no throw is Vargas, and the Knights are up 2-0.
Number 17, Michael Flaherty.
A good piece of hitting from Falk. Was going to say a chance at a triple out of the box, but took it slow around the corner, made sure he was safe in standing up at second. The RBI double enough for him as the Knights lead 2-0. Strike one to Flaherty after he fouls it back to the netting. Of course, Flaherty also had a single in the bottom of the second. This one above the belt for ball one. The 1-1 from Davidson. Upstairs again, ball two. Knights have taken advantage of singles here early. The first extra base hit comes from Falk. That drives in the second run of the game. And now Flaherty a hitter's count. Flaherty, the graduate student from New Hampshire, has played well in his last 5 games as the count fills 3-2. Over his last 5, 6 hits, 4 runs scored. The payoff pitch. Fouled out of play. We'll do it again. Davidson set at the belt, checks back on the runner once, twice, but does come home. Flaherty able to muscle this one out. However, it will be brought in right field, charging on and getting the out Knox. The Knights able to bring one more across, stringing together some hits. They have 5 through 3 innings. It's 2-0. We'll be back on the Middle Georgia State University YouTube channel after this. Back here on the Middle Georgia State University YouTube channel in the campus of MGA. Stuckey Field, a good one, 2-0 in favor of the Knights. And still out there, Williams getting a lot of work in today, and why not? Has held the Cougars scoreless, just 1 hit and 2 walks through the first 3 innings. Of course, Williams, the freshman from Ellis, Georgia. Mentioned he hasn't had too many outings this season. And with 1 out here, this would be officially his longest outing of the season. As instead, this will be at least a double down the line. It'll roll all the way into the corner. The first extra base hit for the Cougars. It bounces around out there. A big turn at second, but eventually stopping up is Evans. 2 for 2 for him today. The only Cougar to have a hit. This one, a loud one, as it puts a runner in scoring position with no outs. Good piece of hitting from Evans, poked it down the left field line. Of course, would have been hard to turn that into a triple with the easy relay down to third on the left field line, but maybe had the opportunity. Instead, a big turn, stops up at second and keeps himself in scoring position for the middle of the order. Step off here from Williams, as at short Vargas was covering and seemed to have wanted to get the pick off, but it doesn't come as the first pitch is swing and a miss, and again an ugly one. As way out in front of it was Eisen. Williams has had that ability today to get batters out in front and make them look silly when they're sitting fastball. Check swing here officially goes down as a ball, as the Knights all clamoring for a swinging striker, at least a strike at the knees. They don't get either. As this one, again, way out in front of it, tipped back into the backstop. One ball, 2 strikes to the cleanup man. Ferguson due up after. Evans stands at second. That is a big strikeout inside corner, just below the belt. Sits him down, looking. The second strikeout of the day for Williams, and it was a big one. The center fielder not happy with it as he heads back to the dugout. Took an extra second or 2 to appeal, but no luck as the Knights now pick up and out with the runner still in scoring position. Back pick, it's a good one. Safe as he dives in, as covering, of course, now with the right-handed batter. Perez had to come on. He was a bit late getting back there, but was able to bring it in and place the tag. But Evans just back in time. If Perez had maybe been expecting the pick, he would have been able to place the tag, but just a bit off. This one stopped and brought in a good stop from Sheely behind the plate, but the runner moves up. And he would have likely gotten the base anyway if Sheely had thrown down, because Sheely still had the mask in his hand and stopped the ball with it, which certainly would have been a free base either way. Outside part of the plate, just missing. That one looked good, but Sheely was set up low and inside, and it ended up outside. Perhaps doesn't help the call, as it's 2 balls, no strikes. This one grounded foul. Ferguson in his first at-bat walked. Williams, of course, with the strikeout he picked up, now his longest outing of the season. The 2-1. Popped up out of play this time. The count evens itself up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Williams peers in, taking an extra second to step in is Ferguson. Now digs the cleats in. Close stance for him. Swings and fouls this one. Early again. 2 ground balls that just a touch or two early that haven't been able to hold the line. Both were very similar to the hit that Evans had. Just a touch early. This one fouled out of play. 4 straight foul balls in this battle. Williams approaching 50 pitches on the day. Ferguson not wanting to go down easy. Yet again, the 2-2. This one into the left-handed batter's box, and it will be a full count. Knights in this situation with a runner on third and 1 out have to remember that a walk isn't the worst thing in the world here. Instead, it is pieced up into left field. That will score a Cougar. An RBI double for Ferguson. He takes a big turn around second, but will not head to third. As the Cougars cut the Knights' lead in half, it's 2-1. A good piece of hitting, 2 doubles. Scores the first run of the game for Columbus State. Evans the first, Ferguson the second. He picks up the RBI double as there will be a meeting on the mound. Mentioned that Ferguson was just a bit out in front on 2 ground balls. That time stayed aback just a touch and was able to coax it down the left field line. Next batter will be Wilmot, but the Knights taking an extra second or two on the mound. Huddle is split. Everyone is ready as the left-handed batter digs in. First pitch to Wilmot. Right at the knees for strike 1. Oric Wilmot from Panama City, Florida, the junior. A chance to tie this one up, but down to his last strike, 0-2 after the swing and miss. Wilmot, the transfer from Wallace-Dothan Community College. Now wearing the dark blue for the Cougars. This one popped up out of play. Williams looking for his 3rd strikeout of the day. Picks it up. Swing and a miss. Wilmot upset as that one dipped below the knees, fell off the table quickly. And a good swinging strikeout for Williams as now, after a runner reached third with just 1 out, can limit the damage to just 1 run. Still a runner in scoring position for the Cougars. Knox 0 for 1 today. Jumps on the first pitch. It's a high fly to center field. Can of corn as it's brought in right at the shoulder for the 3rd out of the inning. The Cougars able to bring 1 across, split the Knights' lead. It's 2-1 after 3.5. We'll be back with more action in the bottom of the 4th when we return. New arm for the Cougars as Avery Stevens comes on. A tall right-hander takes over after just one inning of work from Davidson. Stevens, the senior from Valdosta, Georgia, very used to the central Georgia area, transferred in from Mercer University. Of course, Mercer just about 45 minutes up the road in Macon, Georgia. As Middle Georgia State and campus in Macon. So very likely that new pitcher Stevens is well ingrained in the area and has known the guys on the Knights team for a couple of years now. In his past outings in April against West Florida and Albany State, went 3 combined innings, allowed 1 hit and no runs. Throughout the season, 11 innings pitched and 5 earned runs. As he works quickly, the 3-1. Low and inside. Ooh, just caught the corner. As throwing away the bat, Duarte thought he had a walk. Instead, will face a payoff pitch. Lines one up the middle. A sharp ground ball knocked down at short. But Duarte picks up the single, now trying to go for second. A hustle play as coming on from center field. Eisen taking his time. Allowed Duarte to stretch that into a double. So it was a hard-earned single, a liner that ended up two-hopping to short. Chizik knocks it down and doesn't get any help. Neither Ferguson nor Eisen comes on. And with that ball just sitting in shallow center field, Duarte recognizes it and puts himself at second with no outs. That is a smart piece of base running and something that Columbus State will certainly point out when they get back to the dugout. Bunt attempt here from Pimentel. Rolls foul. Greg Appleton, head coach for the Cougars, will likely give an earful to a player or two there, as that was a defensive lapse for the Cougars. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, Pimentel squaring around a bunt, but pulls it back. Pimentel tries to lay it down, but this one looks like it either bounced off him or King. Dead ball signaled, and that's 2 strikes now. Bottom of the 4th, the Knights have put up a run in each of the past 2 innings. As this is fouled out of play. Cougars responded in the top of the 4th, split the Knights' lead, but now threatening the purple and white. This one bounced in there. Staying at second is Duarte. Just getting enough of it was King to hold him there. King got down to block it, and it made some contact with the chest protector, but popped out behind him. But not clean enough for Duarte to head to third. Instead, the 2-2. This one's fouled out of play. A good battle here from Pimentel. Stevens looking to get the first out of his day. Does so. Swing and a miss. Pimentel tries to climb the ladder. That one in the attic, he couldn't ground it into the dirt. Instead, a swinging strikeout, and Stevens does pick up his first out, as there's still a runner at second for the Knights. As the lineup card will turn over to Tate Abbott. Duarte, with a lot of speed, still offers the Knights a chance with a single in the shallow outfield to score. Inside corner, strike 1. Outfield is playing a touch or two deeper than normal as they'll try and cut anything off and get the relay home. Infield shaded to pull on the left-handed Abbott. Instead, he goes right back up the middle. That'll be a single. Duarte got a late jump as he was making sure to not get doubled up on a potential line out. So he'll stay at the corner, go station to station, and the Knights will have runners on first and third. That one hit right back up the middle. Duarte taking an extra second to make sure it didn't find the glove of the shortstop Chizik. That meant he couldn't turn for home. Instead, runners at the corners for Connor Sheely. Sheely 0 for 1 today as he takes ball one. Sheely, a big cut, just laid on it. Sheely batting in the 9 hole, so the top of the order due up. The 1-1. Outside corner, strike 2. Sheely has to be careful here, wants to protect, but can't give a routine ground ball double play. He might have just done that. To second, to short, to first. 4-6-3 double play as the Cougars get out of trouble. Runners at first and third with one out. Neither comes around to score as the Knights are put away. It's 4 innings through here at Stuckey Field. We'll be back with more action when we return on the Middle Georgia State University YouTube channel.
Sometimes there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Sometimes we're not ourselves. There's no one I can turn to. And I know all the feelings that we shared are in the past. And I know your relationships are never meant to last. And I'll take some time, but I'll be alright. We're moving on. We're moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. We're moving on. We're moving on. We're moving on.
Back here for 5th inning action. New pitcher on the mound for the Knights. Ball 1, and it's from Richardson. Titus Richardson, the redshirt freshman from Glen State Mary, Florida. That is not a college. That is the town. Went to Baker County High School. Again, a right-hander, prototypical, right over the top, 6'2". As a good day of work is done for the night starter. We'll recap that when we're done, as that one's upstairs. But for Richardson, he appeared in 10 games as a freshman and then picked up the red shirt. This season has had a lot of work, 26 innings. Has gotten to a bit of trouble in those innings, though. 20 earned runs. Had ERA just around 8. Looking to bring that down today. The 2-2 bounced in there. It will be the first payoff pitch of the day for Richardson. As for the starter for Middle Georgia State, of course, Williams went 4 innings, 1 earned run, 3 hits against, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Had very good work in the first 3 innings, as this will be a free pass. Just the 2 doubles in the top of the 4th was the really only mistake Williams made all day. His defense helped him out in that first inning. So just the 1st and the 4th, the bookends a little bit of trouble, but a very good day and something to build on for him, as now Richardson looking to get out of a bit of trouble. Leadoff runner is walked. That was Cruz, the 3rd baseman, now to the bottom of the order, and Chizek, the 9-hole batter. He squares around a bunt. The ball kicks away from Sheely. That will allow Cruz to advance 90 feet. He now stands at second. Sheely got down to block it, but it just went through the 5-hole and went towards the Knights' dugout, and that will lead to a very early conversation for Richardson. Everyone will huddle up on the mound. It's likely just a talk to settle down Richardson. Purple and white meet on the rubber. For Columbus State, of course, Chizek, the 9-hole, would give way to Miller and King. And that's kind of the part of the order you want to deal with if you're the Knights, as Evans has had a great day, 2 for 2 now. And Ferguson in the 5-hole, 1 for 1. So those 2 Cougars make up all the hits. So if you're Richardson, you'd like to avoid those 2 are right now the hot part of the order. We'll see if Chizek squares around to bunt again. The corner infielders are in. He does. He lays it down. A beauty down the 3rd base line. Having to hurry. Flaherty on the run throws it over. A good sacrifice, perhaps a better play by Flaherty, as he is able to get the out. But a runner on 3rd now, and that is the tying run, and it's just 90 feet away. Miller, the leadoff man, looking for, of course, a hit, but a deep drive into the outfield or a ground ball not so sharply hit to the middle infield would score the tying run for the Cougars. It's a sharp hit, and it's at first. Flag down. A great play. Quick reaction time from Abbott. And all of a sudden, the top of the 5th flipped on its head by a great play from the first baseman. The Knights just 1 out away from putting up a scoreless frame. What a hot shot to first. Abbott playing in, of course, with the runner on 3rd, able to flag it down right at the infield grass. Richardson delivers this, a weak fly to center, and that should do it. Some great defense from the Knights keeps the Cougars off the scoreboard in the top of the 5th. Richardson gathers it back in after the leadoff walk and is able to put up a scoreless frame. It's 2-1 in favor of your Middle Georgia State University Knights.
Sometimes there's no one else who loves me like you used to. Sometimes we're not ourselves. There's no one I can turn to. And I'll take some time, but I'll be alright. We're moving on. We're moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. We're moving on. We're moving on. We're moving on.
New man on the mound for the Cougars, Joey Gill, the left-hander, 6-foot-tall senior from Florida, transferred in from Gordon State, and has had a heck of a career across multiple levels, including 3 seasons at Gordon State. As a junior at Columbus State, just 2 appearances, but in 2024, 15 appearances with a 1.65 ERA in 27 innings with 29 strikeouts. So really came into his own last year. This season, a bit of a rough stretch. 24 innings pitched, has allowed 16 runs, 12 of them earned. So a touch of a step back, but a lot of those runs just coming in an outing or 2. At West Florida, 6 days ago, went 2/3 of an inning and are allowed 5 runs, 2 of those earned. So that was one of those innings. The rest, the majority of those other runs came against Flagler and Lander. 3 runs apiece in those. As he works quickly, a big bat flip from Vargas as he takes a walk down to first.
Now batting number 2, Flacco.
So a leadoff walk as Vargas only saw 1 competitive pitch, didn't swing the bat, and pits the leadoff runner on first. As Perez, a bunt candidate here, does square around, tries to put it down, but it's blown by him for strike 1. As Gill looks to locate the strike zone. Doesn't have too many issues with the walk. Just 7 on the season. This bunt popped up. And routine from behind the plate for King as he brings it in. The sacrifice doesn't work out, as it will be 1 out and the runner still stands at first. Lineup card turns over to Chaz Salter. Designated hitter today who hits for average. Over 400 on the season. Looking for his first hit. Ball 1. Due up after him is Zane Falk and Flaherty. Of course, Falk 2 for 2 today. The 1-0. Inside corner, strike 1 of the at-bat. Of course, the new lefty on the mound in Gill, Vargas not taking a very big lead. And as if on cue, Gill throws over and checks on him. The 1-1. Fouled right back into the netting. And Salter down to his last strike. So ever since the leadoff walk, Gill has been pounding the strike zone. The 1-2. Again, right back to the netting. And if you're a batter, you often feel like you're just missing it if you foul tip it straight back. And that's twice that Salter has done so. And maybe Gill trying to throw him off his rhythm. Throws back to first, and Salter will have to dig in again. Gill gets the call at the wrist. Now comes set at the belt. Kicks and delivers. Another foul ball, this time popped up out of play behind the press box. 2-1 here in favor of the Knights. They scored 1 run in the bottom of the second, 1 run in the bottom of the third. The Cougars responded in the top of the fourth and had a very promising top of the fifth going before some great defense at first from Tate Abbott shut it down. The Knights would love an insurance run or two here. Vargas at first. Takes a step back. The delivery grounded to short. Only play will be at first. The pick a good one. The throw just a bit off, but Evans down to a knee scoops it out. And Salter is retired on the ground out. The good note for the Knights is the slow grounder gave Vargas time to get down to second base. And he is now in scoring position, but 2 outs for Zane Falk to work with. Mentioned Falk 2 for 2 today with the RBI. First pitch he sees. Strike, outside corner. Gill peers in at second. Kicks and delivers. Off speed, left upstairs. It's the bottom of the order due up for the Cougars when they get the offensive half inning, as Falk tries to golf one out. Gill trying to send his Cougars to the top of the sixth. The 1-2. Falk, this could be another gapper. Right center field, it will 2-hop the wall, 1-hop it high off the wall. Falk, a bit of pop in his bat. About 20 feet shy of his 10th home run on the season. Instead, he'll have to settle with an RBI double. I'm sure happy with that, as the Knights do pick up an insurance run. It is 3-1. Falk now 3 of 3 today with 2 extra base hits, as a swing and a miss from Flaherty starts this at bat. Of course, 2 RBIs to his total as well has been the majority of the offense for the Knights. 8 total hits for the purple and white. Of course, 3 of those off Falk's bat and 2 of the runs off his. A very impressive day for the senior left fielder. And it really has been this middle part of the order that has been so dangerous for the Knights. Mentioned Falk, but Flaherty 1 of 2 today. Duarte behind him, 2 of 2. He's in the on-deck circle, and of course his last hit was a hustle double. Flaherty gives this one a ride, however, it'll be a routine pop-up to center field. That does end the inning, but the Knights able to poke and chip. They get an insurance run. It is now 3-1 in favor of Middle Georgia State. We'll be back for the top of the 6th. So we've seen pitchers change almost every inning since the 3rd, but Richardson gets another outing here. Of course, just threw 10 pitches in an interesting top of the 5th where the Cougars had a runner on 3rd with just 1 out. And in the span of the next 3 pitches, the inning ended with no run coming across. So Richardson was efficient in a wild way and now will like to settle down for a more normal top of the 6th as he bounces ball 1 in there and faces the dangerous part of the order that we mentioned in the previous inning. He would like to keep out of the top of the 5th, of course, with a runner in scoring position. And it starts with Evans, who keeps his day perfect. A hard single over second base. He is 3 for 3. Exactly why Richardson and the Knights didn't want to see him in the top of the 5th. A leadoff runner on. Evans gives way for the center fielder. Richardson gets the signal at the rest. Comes set at the belt. Kicks and delivers. Right at the knees for strike 1. So another inning where the Cougars get the leadoff runner on and have a chance to threaten. And they'll do so. 2 singles back to back as this one to left field. Falk brings it in and gets it in quick enough to keep Evans at second. But yet again, the Cougars threatening. And the Knights add on an insurance run. And right away, the Cougars look like they're trying to get it back. Ferguson now steps in. He's had a perfect day as well. His last at-bat, of course, scored Evans. Has the RBI for the Cougars today and walked in his first at-bat of the game. This one misses outside. 3rd and 1st, the corners for the Knights playing in. Middle infield at their normal spots. Knights would love a double play here. Check back at second. Knights try a high IQ play of the shortstop dropping back. Vargas gives way to Perez, who comes on to hold the runner. And now Perez will take over that role full time, of course, with the batter. This one popped down the line, right field brought in. This will advance the runner deep enough where Evans can tag up and move to the corner. And it's runners at the corners with 1 out. Warwick Wilmot comes up in a big spot. Tying run at first. He represents the go-ahead run. Double play still in order. However, it is the center fielder at first, so could see a steal attempt here to try and break that up. The righty peers in, kicks and delivers. There's the steal. It's chopped foul. Just about half a foot to the wrong side of the bag for the Cougars. Everyone will have to go back to their base as Wilmot digs in. Richardson checks back, expected after the man at first took off. It looked like Sheely behind the plate for the Knights was going to pop up and try and catch him stealing, as there's another check back on the runner at first. Of course, that can always be a tough spot for a catcher, because if you throw down, the runner at third could come crashing home. We'll see what the play is for the Cougars. There's the steal, the throw down not made. Sheely pump fakes it, but it is a free base. At short, Vargas is wondering why he didn't get it. He wanted the throw down. As now there will be two runners in scoring position with just one out. Outside corner, strike two. Umpire signals 1 ball, 2 strikes. A big strikeout spot if Richardson could pick up his first of the day. This is popped up out of play. With a well-hit single, this game could be all evened up at 3. The 1-2. This one is hit well. It is to deep center field. That one is gone. Wilmot represented the game-winning run and now puts his Cougars in that spot. They go ahead and are in the driver's seat for the first time today. A long shot from Wilmot to deep right center field. It's 4-3 Cougars. Columbus State now ahead for the first time today. And as we start to get to the back third of this one, that could certainly be the difference. The go-ahead run, a 3-home run shot. Wilmot puts his team in front, and that ends the day for Richardson. So we'll take a short break, announce the new pitcher when we come back. But Middle Georgia State trails 4-3. Back here at Stuckey Field on the campus of Middle Georgia State University in what is a totally new game now, as a 3-run shot from Wilmot puts the Cougars up 4-3. Knights had been leading ever since the bottom of the second. Now a new situation for Edwards on the mound as he looks to keep things where it's at and throws strike one. Cooper Edwards, the 6'4" left-hander, redshirt freshman out of Perry, Georgia. The 0-1, put a little speed on it. It's chopped to short. The throw over, a powerful strike from Vargas, and he gets the runner in time as Knox was taking down the line. It's the second out of the inning as the Knights have put a 1 spot up in the second, third, and fifth, but a 3-run inning from the Cougars after a 1-run top of the fourth has given them the lead. Bottom of the order now with Cruz. This one bounced in there for ball one. Flaherty was the 3rd out in the last inning, so Duarte will lead off for the Middle Georgia State Knights, as this one's bounced in there as well. As they'll look to try and erase this Cougars lead in the bottom of the 6th. 2-0, chopped foul. After the foul ball, Cruz takes his time to dig the cleats in. The junior from Miami trying to keep this inning alive. Instead, the count evens itself up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Edwards picks up the swing and miss. Comes on, gets 2 quick outs. That one via the strikeout and sends the Knights to the offensive half. However, before that happened, Richardson stayed in. 2 runners got on base for the Cougars, and Wilmot cleaned them up with a deep drive to right center. The 3-home run shot puts our score where it's at. It's 4-3 in favor of Columbus State. So Warwick Wilmot, a deep drive, a 3-home run shot, flips this game on its head. Wilmot was, within the past hour, named the Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week. So coming off that performance, now picks up a 3-home run shot and is well on his way to repeating that honor. As Luke Miller, the other honoree from the Cougars for this week, won Freshman of the Week. Today he's 0 for 2, but has played some good defense in left field. Stands there as his new pitcher Massey is warming up. Coates Massey from Fortsman, Georgia. 6'2", 220 right-handed pitcher. The sophomore has had a lot of success and comes on here the first time today the Cougars have held a lead. Again, just like most of the players you'll see in this midweek matchup, doesn't get too much time, but has pitched 12 1/3 innings this season, 4 earned runs. A good total for him. 8 walks to 9 strikeouts, and this is a big season for him. Last season, no appearances, so looking to keep the good thing going for him, as it is Jane Duarte. Speaking of Player of the Week, he picked one up for the Knights Conference and had a multi-home run performance in the last outing the Knights had, as this is ball 2. That, of course, led them to a big sweep, a big ranked sweep, as the Knights trying to stay hot and will need to mount a comeback to do so against an in-state rival. Three balls, no strikes. Duarte, no green light. He thought he picked up ball 4. Instead, strike on the outside corner, the first we've seen today from Massey. Had some good movement to it. He's working quickly, the 3-1. This one a bit more outside. An easier call for the walk. It's given as Duarte stays perfect on the day. 2 for 2 now with the walk. And that is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Knights. The leadoff runner on, and it is in Duarte, who has plenty of speed. Pimentel now the new batter. We've seen him square around a couple of times today. We'll see if he does it again. He does square around. He pulls back, although it looks like he makes some contact for strike 1 as the ball is blown dead. Interesting to see the small ball come in from the Knights. Duarte is proven he can swipe a bag or two. 7 of 9 on the season, doing so a right-handed pitcher as the throwback bounced, but a good stop at first. Dangerous situation, but Evans smothers it. Interested that down 1 run, the Knights willing to give away an out to move Duarte up to second. Pulling back, this curveball too high and inside. So Pimentel still squaring around. Corners even with the grass. He does get it down, but it is foul, and he'll have to free swing again. We saw this in his last at-bat. A very similar at-bat. Duarte got on. Pimentel had a bit of trouble laying down the bunt and had to free swing. The pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. Pimentel looking to get his first hit today. Check swing from the sophomore. He held back, and it's a full count. The center fielder looking to get on base for the first time today in a big spot. The payoff pitch almost comes in and hits him. Buzzes the tower, and that's enough to earn a walk. 2 straight walks. As Massey, with the free passes, gives the Knights a chance to respond here in the bottom of the 6th. And that will lead to a meeting on the mound. Wilmot in the top of the 6th, a 3-home run shot, with potentially the game-winning run being himself, was a big spot because runs have been hard to come by. But now the offense is waking up, and it's driven Massey out of the game. We'll take a short break and announce the new pitcher for the Cougars when we return. Christian Harmon in with a relief appearance. Massey goes 2 batters, issues 2 walks, and now gives way to the right-hander junior from Peachtree Corners, Georgia. Another Gordon State College transfer. And this is his first season with Columbus State. 3 seasons at Gordon State, 21 to 24. Made 22 appearances with 2 starts across those seasons. And picked up a first-team all-conference and closer of the year. So has that ability to come in high-leverage spots, which this certainly is. The Knights threatening the tying run at second. The go-ahead run at first. In his last outing, it was in March the 26th against Auburn Montgomery, went 1 inning, allowed 4 hits and 2 runs. Outside, ball 1. New batter for the Knights is Tate Abbott. 1 for 1 today, picked up a walk and a single. Abbott, a big cut here, pops it up out of play. Harmon has had a bit of trouble with the walks as well. 9 1/3 this season, 7 walks. The 1-1. Abbott, another big swing, comes up with nothing this time. Strike 2 on him. Harmon peers at second. Now looks at home, delivers that way. Abbott tries to climb the ladder, swings at a high fastball. It's blown by him for strike 3. Harmon comes on, 1 batter, 1 strikeout. And now it's to the very bottom of the order with Connor Sheely, the 9-hole batter. In his last at-bat, a ground ball double play that ended a threatening inning for the Knights, and potentially a similar situation here. He'll look to avoid that as Harmon looks dominant early. That big off speed just dropping into the zone. That one looks like a true slider that has a bit taken off of it, as it had some good horizontal and vertical movement. He goes back to it. Can't get this one over the plate as it's a bit too far inside. If he can locate that, it's almost impossible as a batter to do anything with. Comes back with the fastball, and a difference in speeds there. Sheely can't catch up to it, and Harmon looking dominant right now. Working quickly, set at the belt, kicks and delivers. It's the fastball, ground ball, kick to second, keeping it in front of him. A good job to get the out at first. Ferguson was hoping for 2, but had to move towards the first base side, couldn't field it cleanly, and only gets the out at first. So 2 runners in scoring position now for the Knights. They sit at second and third. However, 2 outs for the leadoff man, Jose Vargas. A single would likely put the Knights back out in front. Fastball, can't catch the outside corner. This fastball too high. Duarte at third. Pimentel at second. Speed on the base pass for the Knights. This one chopped down the first base line and foul. Two balls, 1 strike is the count. Harmon has to be careful. Can't bounce anything in there. If it were to make its way past King, the catcher, could even this game up. The 2-1. Outside again. And a hitter's count for Vargas with Perez on deck. Columbus State up 4-3. The pitch. Upstairs, it does get its way to the backstop. That's a walk, and that scores the tying run. Coming home, Duarte on a wild pitch, able to even us up at 4, and runners at the corners for the Knights. The go-ahead run 90 feet away.
Number 2, Flaco Perez.
A good at-bat from Vargas. The last pitch, a fastball too high for King to handle. And it allows the runner at third to advance and score without a throw. Runners at the corners now for Perez. This one missing outside to the right-handed batter. It's 4-4. The Knights able to respond quickly to the 3 home run shot from Wilmot. That slider, one of the best pitches we've seen today. Backdoor inside, catches the corner for strike 1 and evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Throws the slider again, this time opposite field. Perez does what he can with it, and that is an RBI single. The Knights back on top as Pimentel comes around to score.
Number 1, Chaz Salter.
What a great piece of hitting. Mentioned on that slider, if it's placed right, you can't do much with it. Perez did exactly what you can. Just go the other way, get back to ball. And his RBI single puts MGA up 5-4. The first multi-run inning for the Knights comes in the bottom of the 6th, and they didn't trail long. Less than a half inning. They now have a 1-run lead, have a chance to do more damage. It's with Salter, who's 0 for 3 today, and if you're a Knights fan, you'd say he's due. Bats over 400 on the season. Count is 1-1. The delivery, high and outside, ball 2. Vargas at second, Perez at first. Insurance run. Would be exactly what the Knights have called for. They've taken the lead. Of course, we saw it evaporate, a 2-run lead in the top half of this inning. So if they can pick up an extra run or two, they would feel much better. And they'll have a chances to now that the bases are loaded. Salter earns a walk, gets on base. There's a Knight at every bag, and it is right now the hottest hitter in the Knights order with Zane Falk. The cleanup man, 3 for 3 today. He likely won't face Harmon. Harmon, it looks like his day is done as he takes off the wristband. Of course, that's how calls are relayed. So he is done. A call to the bullpen. We'll announce who it is when we come back. The Knights have taken the lead. It's 5-4 and a chance to do some serious damage. big chance for the Knights to build on their lead. It's a 1-run lead, 5-4. But a man in purple and white stands at every bag, and it's Zane Falk to bat. He's 3 for 3 today. The first pitch we see from Wilson is a ball. Sawyer Wilson, a freshman out of Cartersville, Georgia, officially a transfer from Kennesaw State, has gotten plenty of extended work this season. 23 innings, 11 earned runs. Drops that one right into the heart of plate for strike one of the at-bat. And it's been a lot of good work. Multiple appearances, not allowing any runs, and often goes more than just an inning or two. Zane Falk trying to stay hot, lines it to right field, but brought in as it hung up easily for Knox. The Knights leave the base pass stranded. 3 runners left on base, but they bring in 2 across earlier in the inning. That puts them in the lead. It's 5-4, 2/3 of the way through this one at Stuckey Field. Bottom of the order here for the Cougars. It's Chizik, and then they'll flip to the top of the lineup with Miller and King. Edwards still on the mound for the Knights, as both teams have kind of brought in their stars of the midweek to try and hold things where it's at. Power on power here. Chizik gives this one a ride, about 5 feet short of the warning track. It's brought in left field. Falk brings it in. It sounded good off the bat, but just hung up. And sometimes that's just baseball. 9 men out there. Falk the one to bring it in for the first out on the first pitch here in the top of the 7th. The Knights hold a 1-run lead. We saw the majority of the scoring in the 6th inning. 5 runs, 3 for the Cougars, 2 to the Knights, as that has been maybe the most disgusting pitch of the game. Edwards just drops it in there for strike 1. That ball just floating in last second into the strike zone. Now comes back with some power on the outside corner. And Miller 0 for 2 today, in danger of going 0 for 3. Does have the walk as he peers in at Edwards. He does the same. The delivery way out in front of it was Miller. Gets a piece and stays alive. Knights trying to hold on to this lead. The kick and delivery. This one popped up a mile high towards right center field. Charging on Pimentel brings it in for the second out of the inning. And that's what those off-speed pitches, almost a true curveball from Edwards, can do. If you don't track it perfectly, you can get under it, and Miller certainly did as he skied that one out. And now the Knights just one out away from a quick 1-2-3. That one a little bit too far low and away for ball one as King looks to get his first hit of the day. The catcher 0 for 3. The 1-0 just dropped in there again, but perhaps maybe a tick or two outside. Top of the 7th, 5-4 game. It's been anyone's game all day. It remains that way. Popped up towards the Columbus State dugout, and it will get over the fence and out of play. Tate Abbott made a really athletic play off camera to just kind of jump on the fence, even though that ball ended up 20 feet behind him. Gave a true effort as the count is 2 balls, 1 strike. Just a touch low as it kicks up some dirt. And it's a favorable hitter's count for King, who, as mentioned, is trying to get his first look at first base today. Will do so. High and tight. A 5-pitch walk. And the Cougars have the tying run at first. And with the day Evans is having, the go-ahead run at the plate, of course, would be the go-ahead run no matter what. But certainly seems like an option with the loud day the first baseman is having. 3 of 3. Has hit every ball hard. And now this one just off the end of the bat. Evans with a lot of power, but doesn't catch it on the barrel. So instead it's brought in by Pimentel. He comes on late, battles the sun, and brings it in for the 3rd out of the inning. A quick inning for Edwards. The Knights back on offense when we return. Bottom of the 7th here. Knights looking for some insurance as it starts with Flaherty. Knights almost batting around in the bottom of the 6th. As Flaherty, a hot shot past short. A one hopper that snuck under the glove of Chizak, who tried to backhand it, and Flaherty gets on with a single. First pitch delivered into left field. Flaherty now 2 of 4 today. And it's up to Duarte now, who is, of course, perfect at the 2 for 2 mark with 1 walk. Duarte came around to score. in the bottom of the sixth, one of those 2 runs that came across. Looks like a little bit of trouble Wilson is having here with getting the signal. Now he touches rubber and a timeout here. Not sure who called it. Looks like we're ready to go. Wilson set at the belt, kicks and delivers. Duarte, a big cut. Trying to deposit that one over the right field wall. The 0-1 from Wilson. Outside corner, strike 2. And for the first time today, Duarte not in a hitter's count. It has been a very favorable day for him, getting ahead in counts and able to use that to his advantage. Now has to protect. Ooh, check back, a good one. Picked off, Flaherty out. Flaherty went a step or two too far off the bag as he took an extra step thinking Wilson was starting his motion. Instead, it was a pickoff. That one missing low, ball 1. So Flaherty, a leadoff single, quickly erased. Wilson picks him off. Now Duarte, no runners on to work with, and that hurts for the Knights as that would have been runners at first and second with no outs. Instead, Duarte, the only runner on after his single.
Now batting number 11, Teonis.
Duarte, again, staying perfect, 3 for 3 today. And it'll be to Pimentel, who has had Duarte on in front of him every time today. Often has laid down the bunt, but with 1 out here, I have to think Pimentel will get a true chance at the plate. Does not square around, instead takes strike 1, inside corner. Two hits this inning for the Knights that helped them get into double figures in that category. They're at 11 on the day. This one low. Flaherty erased on the pickoff. Knights will have to work just a bit harder to bring in an insurance run or 2. Duarte dancing at first. He knew that pickoff was coming, got back easily. After Pimentel would be Tate Abbott and Connor Shealy. Bottom of the order here. This one almost comes in and hits Pimentel. He's able to duck the shoulder and take ball 2. Wilson, the 2-1. Pimentel gives this one a ride. Deep left field. Will the wall hold it? It won't. Pimentel, a 2-run shot. The Knights securely on top, 7-4. The only question was if that one would hit off the top of the wall or get well over. The wind blowing in here today, it doesn't stop that hot shot. Pimentel, a 2-run shot. The Knights up big, 7-4, their biggest lead of the day.
Now batting number 35, Tate Abbott.
The Knights dugout fired up. Pimentel fired up. His 4th home run of the year. One of the bigger ones of the season. As it puts the Knights squarely in the lead. Tate Abbott now to bat. Would love to go back to back. Abbott certainly has the power to do so. He does take a home run-like cut, but pops it up out of play. So Wilson comes on with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Gets a quick out. But in his first full inning of work here, has allowed 2 earned runs off the loud pop from Pimentel's bat. Abbott gets under this one, a high fly, battling the sun. Evans, the first baseman, lost it. Now everyone loses it, and eventually able to track it into the glove. Ferguson calling off his right fielder. Knox also signaled he had no idea where it was. Ferguson, a good catch over the shoulder. A nice play from the second baseman gives the Knights 2 outs. Pinch hitter here for the Knights, it's Brendan Williams. First look we've seen of him today, of course, the senior from Owensboro, Kentucky. Often the DH for this Knights team. Has appeared in 23 games, 18 starts, a batting average just a tick under the Mendoza line, 185. However, has been in big spots before and is looking to continue a bottom of the 7th that has been fruitful for the Knights. Outside, ball 1. The left-handed bat catches this one off the end of the bat. An easy fly ball out to right field. Knox brings it in, and that's the end of the inning. Pimentel, a huge 2-run shot, gives the Knights a bigger lead. Their biggest lead of the day, 7-4. Edwards on for another inning of work as the Knights relief pitcher looks to keep everything where it's at. The left-hander has been efficient through his first 2 innings. 18 pitches, has not allowed a hit, did issue a walk, but besides that has been stellar. And thrown a couple of breaking balls that you have to wonder how any batter can do anything with it. He goes to one of them here, outside corner, strike 1. It's the middle of the order for the Cougars. Ison, Ferguson, and Wilmot. Of course, Wilmot, the big 3-home run shot that put the Cougars in front. That lead evaporated. However, a shot down the line here, and it drops in play. Duarte down the line had it played perfectly. It kicks off his glove. And instead of an out, Ison stands at second. That one officially goes down as a hit, and likely should. Ison picked a perfect spot. I mean, that one barely held the line. It's just out of the view of camera, so apologize for that. But it just held the line. The only reason Duarte was even close was he was shaded towards the line. He was less than 20 feet away from it from when that ball was hit off the bat and almost made a play, but it kicked off the inside part of the glove. It's a leadoff double for the Cougars here. Edwards now facing Ferguson. Drops it in, outside corner, strike two. The count evened up. Twos run wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, a runner at second. Strikeout here would be huge. Instead, it's a hot shot to short. Good job to look back the runner. The throw over in plenty of time. Vargas makes a tough play look routine, as it's the first out of the inning, and the runner does not advance. Nice job from Edwards to get the rollover. Vargas able to keep the speedy Ison where he's at. And now it's to Wilmot. Strike right down the heart of the plate. Wilmot 1 for 3, but his one hit, a 3 home run shot. Coming off Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week honors. Chops this one to first, a high chopper. So high that battling the sun, Tate Abbott able to bring it in for the second out. That might be the first time I've ever seen an infielder have to battle the sun on a ground ball, but that was pounded into the dirt. Abbott able to bring it in, shoulder level, and touch the bag at first for the second out of the inning. Ison does move up to third base, so he's 90 feet away. This ball dead as soon as it hits the batter. Knocks the first pitch he sees, hits him on the top of the foot, and he gets a free pass down to first. And that might have been the best outcome for the Knights, as that ball ended up making its way to the backstop, and that would have scored Ison. Instead, it's a hit by pitch, the first we've seen today, as the lineup card flips over to Cruz. Cruz, the junior from Florida, pops this one out of play for strike one. Runners at the corners. Ison at third, Knox at first. The kick and delivery. Cruz is dipping out of the way, but that catches the inside corner for strike two. Tying run at the plate in Cruz. However, the Knights 1 strike away from getting the Cougars down to their last 3 outs. Instead, it makes its way to the backstop. Charging on Ison, the flip doesn't come. That one got to the backstop quickly, kicked out enough, but Ison with plenty of speed scores on the wild pitch. The Cougars have partially cut into the Knights' lead. It's 7-5. The 1-2. Inside, ball 2. Count even. Twos really run wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. Again, Cruz represents the tying run. Edwards kicks and delivers. It's poked to right field. Duarte another chance down the line. This time battles the sun and brings it in belt high. The Cougars bring one across. However, the Knights able to clean up a dangerous situation. It's 7-5. The Cougars down to their last 3 outs. The Knights perhaps one last chance to get some insurance. We'll be back after this short break. Bottom of the 8th here for the Knights as they look to score one more run or two, a 2-run lead. One of the most dangerous in baseball, as it will be the top of the order. Leadoff batter Jose Vargas bats leadoff here in the bottom of the 8th. He faces new pitcher, the lefty McMahon. McMahon, the senior from Dayton, Ohio, delivers ball 1. Vargas 1 for 2 today. Gets into a hitter's count, 2 balls, no strike. On the other side for him, touching rubber, is McMahon, who has appeared 6 times on the season for the Cougars, 8 innings pitched. This one a hard liner to right field. It hangs up, though, charging on Knox, brings it in right at the numbers for the first out of the bottom of the 8th.
Number 2, Flacco Perez.
Good piece of hitting, just hung up too long, as that's the first out for McMahon. He's allowed 9 earned runs in those 8 innings pitched, so an ERA just about 10. And has some trouble with the free pass, but also just being a touch wild. 6 walks across those innings, 6 wild pitches. That pitch a good one, though, catching the outside corner right at the knees as he takes a bit off it. 3 hit-by pitches to his total as well, but off to a very good outing here in the bottom of the 8th in a tight game. This one a hard liner. That will break up that good day he started with. It's down the line, trying for 2. Perez is in there, standing up. Just holds the line. A double for Perez, and the Knights have a runner in scoring position with just 1 out.
Number 1, Chaz Salter.
The good old announcer's jinx for McMahon. Just saw his best pitch of the day, the one pitch before on Perez, left one hanging there, and Perez able to keep it fair down the left field line for a double. Chaz Salter 0 for 3 today as he takes ball 1 low and inside. An unusual situation for the DH. Does have the walk, but more often than not finishes games with multi-hits rather than none. As that's ball 2. Zane Falk to follow, Flaherty after that. The 2-0 from McMahon. He kicks and delivers. Upstairs. And it's a 3-0 count for Salter. Walked in his last at-bat, well on his way to doing so here. No swing, kept the bat on the shoulder. Fastball dipped inside for ball 4. And that's 2 Knights in a row to reach base. They stand on first and second. Just the 1 out for Zane Falk. Was 3 for 3 on the day. Came up with the bases loaded and was retired. 2 RBIs, looking to improve on those numbers. Curveball, just missing the zone, high and outside. Falk has a lot of space to work with in the outfield. Has already hit 2 doubles that have been true gappers, and the outfield still playing closer to the lines. Instead, he delivers this one down the left field line. That has a chance. That's a 3-run shot. Knights in double figures off the bat of Zane Falk. They double up in-state rival Columbus State. That one a no-doubter. Zane Falk, 4 of 5, 3 extra base hits, 5 RBIs. Have yourself a day. Half of the Knights' offense today is now they lead and are in a very nice position with Columbus State just having 3 outs to go. And you can even tell by the scoreboard on the stream here, it's been a loud day for the Knights, the 10 not even fitting on your screen. Zane Falk, a long home run. It has been a very good day for the senior. Flaherty now tries to get into one. It's fouled off. Flaherty 2 of 4. The Knights up big. Doesn't have to do too much here. Takes a strike at the knees. Of course, the Cougars down to their last 3 outs. After Flaherty would be Duarte and Pimentel. Pimentel having that 2 home run shot. That put the Knights up 7-5. And was just a pickoff away from being a 3 home run shot, and that would have made Falks the second one of the day. Instead, 5 runs coming across the 2 home runs. Two-two count. McMahon kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. A true curveball. 12-6 falls off the table. Flaherty swings over top. He'll give some words to Duarte, who knows what to look out for and represents potentially the last night of the 8th inning. 2 outs here. The Knights up big, their biggest lead of the day. It's 10-5. A 14-hit outing from the Knights offense. And for a while, it was seeming like they were just a little bit off. They were racking up the hits, not bringing the runs across. But since the 6th inning, a 2-run 6th, a 2-run 7th, and a 3-run 8th. The story has been different, stringing together those hits perfectly as McMahon takes a tumble after delivering the strike. Looks like he's okay. Scary to see there, but returns right back to his spot. The 1-1. That big curveball stays high of the belt for ball 2. Duarte, a perfect day. 3 of 3, the walk. 1 RBI. Also has scored twice, as this one misses outside. The 3-1 count here. McMahon delivers. It's a swing and a miss. Duarte. A big cut. Up next, a payoff pitch. Here it is. Strike 3 looking. Duarte goes down. He knew it. The Cougars knew it. It's the end of the 8th, but a long shot from Falk, a 3-home run shot, makes the difference. It's 10-5 in favor of the Knights. We'll have the Cougars' potential last 3 outs when we return on the Middle Georgia State University YouTube channel. Top of the ninth here at Stuckey Field. The Middle Georgia State University Knights on top 10-5. The Cougars 3 outs to even it up or take the lead. Otherwise, the Knights will walk away with a big midweek win. In charge of the effort for the Cougars is Chizek, Miller, and King. That's 9-1-2. As for the man on the mound for the purple and white, it's Steven Sams Jr., the sophomore out of Florida. Not a save situation here for the right-hander, but a chance to slam the door on the Cougars. Cougars won this matchup in Columbus earlier this season. The Knights trying to split. Sams Jr., 9 innings worked this season as this fastball high and makes its way to the backstop for ball 2. Despite those 9 innings, has had a good bit of success as of late. In his last 4 outings has not allowed an earned run. However, those outings have been relatively short. The best, as he delivers strike 1 of the at-bat, was against Georgia Gwinnett. 1 1/3, no earned runs. The others just a third of an inning each, where he allowed 4 walks across those. So was taken out early, now gets a chance to have a true relief inning outing here as he evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chizek 0 for 2 today. Two balls, 2 strikes. Sams Jr. set at the belt, kicks and delivers. It's a swinging strikeout as swinging over top of it. Chizek, the first out of the top of the 9th. The Cougars down to their last 2 outs. It's to Luke Miller now, the leadoff man. The left fielder 0 for 3 today. A freshman from Cartersville. 1 walk, 1 strikeout for him. Gets into this one. It's a single to left field. Falk to cut it off. Gets it in quickly, holds Miller at first. A jumping effort from Flaherty, couldn't bring it in, and now Columbus State with a base runner and King up to bat. Double play is on, a potential game-ending double play. Although both Miller and King with a good bit of speed. The catcher appears in. Sams Jr. back at him. Kicks and delivers. Bounced in there for ball 1. Infield playing straight up. Outfield the same. The 1-1, the 1-0 turns into 2-0. The Cougars need a big inning to keep it alive. Scored 3 in the top of the 6th. That's been their best inning so far. Outside corner, powerful fastball for strike 1. Cougars 22-18 on the season. The Knights 22-21. 2 very evenly matched teams. This could be the double play ball. The short way worker 1 lost it on the transfer. That should be an out. We'll see what the call is, but it looked like it was lost on the transfer from Vargas. The first signal was out on the transfer. That would mean 2 outs, runner at first. There is that conversation you can see just in front of first base. Head coach Greg Appleton discussing with the umpire. I don't think this is going to go his way. The runner is out, a force out at second. The Knights unable to turn 2, but Perez a heads up play to go to Vargas the short way, get the lead runner, and there's 2 outs now. It's with Evans, though, who is having a great day. 3 of 4. He takes a big cut for strike one. Evans, no RBIs, but has come around to score twice. Sams Jr. trying to slam the door. Fastball outside part of the plate, just a bit too far, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. King at first on a fielder's choice. Ooh, good slider there that catches the heart of the zone. Might have been Sams Jr. best pitch of the day so far. And now the Cougars down to their last strike. The Knights looking to defend Stuckey Field, get on a bit of a win streak. It's outside for ball 2. The Knights are 22-21, went over 500 after sweeping a top 15 team. As this, a wild pitch, moves the runner up to second. And loads the count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swept Loyola University of New Orleans. Did that at home here at Stuckey Field. Before that, traveled up to South Carolina where they knocked off the University of South Carolina Beaufort. A 4-game win streak that has brought them over 500, a chance to be a 5-game win streak. The 3-2, line to left field, that will score 1. Columbus State starting to mount the comeback perhaps, 10-6. An RBI single keeps this one close, now within 4, as Evans, 4 of 5 today, picking up his first RBI. I mean, it has been a tightly contested game throughout. The 5-run lead was the biggest of the day for the Knights, and it came across essentially 2 innings. 7th and 8th picked up 5 runs. Of course, 2 more in the 6th. Have picked up production every step of the way here in the late game. Now need to close it out defensively as this ball will make its way into the stands. Ison at the plate, 2 of 4 today with a strikeout. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. And again, the Cougars down to their last strike. Coming up next for the Knights, an away trip to Mobile, Alabama, where they'll face the University of Mobile in a 3-game series. That's this weekend, a doubleheader on Friday, a game on Saturday. Hoping to ride a 5-game win streak into that matchup. The 2-2, swing and a miss. The Knights slam the door. Sams Jr. picks up his 2nd strikeout in the top of the 9th, and that will do it. A late game performance for the Knights. They pick up runs in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th innings, and that leads them to a 10-6 win. Your Middle Georgia State University Knights win this one and are now 23-21 and on a 5-game win streak. A final look at the stat line. 10 runs on 14 hits for the Knights. As for Columbus State, 6 runs on 9 hits. I'm Joe Kopshow. Thank you so much for joining us on the Middle Georgia State University YouTube channel. So long, and have a great night, everyone.